Hey guys, welcome back to the Glenscope channel, where today we are looking at a Reddit thread. Yeah. So, I happen to be looking at the Our Canada subreddit, and specifically the comments, which is, you should never do, that was a giant mistake. I looked at the comments on the 5 heroes being honored with Bravery medals for the 2017 Mosque shooting in Quebec City. It basically devolved into a pro-gun versus anti-gun, and our Canada, as we know, is extremely liberal. So basically anything that had anything to do with any kind of pro-gun stance was just downvoted into oblivion. So I just want to take a little snapshot of that. I'm sure you can still find a thread. As of right now, the thread is still up. So you can definitely find it and peruse the dumpster fire to your liking. So the first shots fired on the slapfight was initiated by the pro-gun movement with this post. Imagine if these 5 heroes had concealed carry pistols. Would have saved a lot of lives from the murdering criminal. Police can't protect people from murderers in the moment. Edit. Downvotes for suggesting the heroes could have saved more lives if they were properly armed? Do people wish for people to be victims so much they would rather die than have the best chance available to fight against those who would do them harm? What a world. So this poster makes some pretty good points to start us off. The first one being, if any one of these 5 heroes had actually a concealed carry pistol, again, not legal in Canada to have, but if they did, then they would have been in a much better position to actually save lives. The second point is, police can't protect people from murderers in the moment. And that is something to consider, because the police only have a force of around 70 to 80,000 members. Now, they can't be everywhere at one time, and if they're not literally within about 50 feet of you at that time when a gunman walks into a room, you are at a massive disadvantage. This was posted in response. Problem is, most people are not heroes. They're just regular people with regular problems, flaws, tempers. Guns don't kill people, people do. More people with more lethal force isn't a good thing. Fortunately, in Canada, we'll never tolerate people going about pointlessly with guns in their pockets, so your dystopia won't happen. Which is weird, because I don't think there's any other country which really has a lot of CCW except for the USA. And even though USA is having its own internal problems or whatever, there's a lot more dystopias that are more dystopian than the United States right now. And this was posted in response to the first post. Guns are not banned from good people. I own a gun. I wouldn't want to carry it around like a toy though. And no, little Jimmy, who people make fun of, won't go to the docks buying a pistol from gangsters so he can shoot up a school, but that's just not how the world works. That was hard to read. Look at the number per capita of gun violence in the US versus other developed countries, where there's more responsible gun control measures. The kind of glorification of firearms you're spewing here leads to more deaths, no matter how you want to be the hero of an imaginary scenario. So a few things. The first paragraph talks about how little Jimmy can't get a gun from gangsters, because that's just not how the world works. Well, that's literally what's happening in Toronto right now. So this guy doesn't know how gang violence works, because that's who's doing the shootings. It's not the old gangsters, it's the young gangsters who are underage, or they're in their early 20s, like very young people. They get their illegal guns from the gangsters, and they start giving them around to kids as rewards for doing illegal things for them. That's how the world works. In regards to the second part regarding the per capita gun violence, well, there's 400 million guns in the US. There's no other country in the world which has more guns than the US. America, right? But if you look at the actual crime rate in the US, it's like middle road, like regardless of where it is. So homicide, it's like 100 out of like 200 countries. If it's just pure crime, it's like about the same. It's halfway. It's about halfway down. It's not anywhere near the top 10. If crime was tied to the actual amount of guns, the U.S. should be number 1 all the way through. But it's not. It's not even close. Not even top 25%. It is like 48% percentile type thing. So I just wanted to bring up the article that the Reddit thread was talking about, specifically the acts of bravery. Azadine Soufflane was killed in the violence, sacrificing his life while trying to disarm the shooter. He will be awarded the Governor General Star of Courage posthumously. Saad Akjor and Mohammed Kaibar will receive the Medal of Bravery for attempting to confront the shooter during the incident, and Hakeem Chambaz will receive the medal for rescuing a little girl during the attack, as well as Ayman Derbali, who tried to draw the shooter's attention away from the worshippers. Derbali was seriously injured in the shooting and has been paralyzed ever since. As you can see, not everyone made it out unscathed in this encounter. With all these awards for bravery, what are some real solutions that could have prevented so many victims to happen in the first place? And I have a series of questions I'd just like to ask, and please answer honestly. If you were in the mosque, what would have you preferred? What if there was an on-duty police officer and he had a service pistol and he was able to react to the gunman? What if there was an off-duty officer and he was still able to have his handgun on him? Sometimes that happens. Would that have been preferable to the situation that had occurred in 2017? What if there was private security from a armored truck service? They were there to pick up the deposit for the mosque. A lot of churches and mosques are sort of like big places actually do that. And would that have been a better situation? What about a citizen trained by police officers and having a concealed carry permit? Would that be preferable to the situation we had in 2017? Now, in Canada, that's not an actual thing. You can't get a concealed carry permit legally anyway. If you carry a handgun for protection, that's illegal in Canada. I think there's like one instance of a concealed carry permit that has been issued in Canada. Last question. What if there was an instance of a citizen who was trained by the people who train police officers? In many cases, police officers are trained by civilians because they have a lot of knowledge and experience. With all that being said, this is a very difficult topic. It's something that people really should be deciding for themselves. They shouldn't let other people decide for them. The only thing you can control is yourself. You can't control what other people do, whether they follow the law or whether they break the law. That's not up to you personally. Only choose what you can do yourself. So with all the laws and all the good intentions, it doesn't matter when the bullets start flying. You don't want to be a volunteer victim. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I do have some larger projects in the works. They'll take a little bit more time. I do have some suggested reading material, which you guys should check out. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And I will see you in the next one.